welcome back. Our next guest is the UK's best-known doctor who's been the face of health and medicine on our TV screens for over 16 years. He's here today to dispel some of the common food myths and put mine and Tom's diets under the microscope. Welcome, Dr. Hilary Jones.
Hi.
Now, you've given huge amounts of advice to millions of people over the years. What's the sort of one phrase which crops up over and over again?
I guess it would be moderation. You know, if you enjoy things that are bad, in moderation, it's okay occasionally. You know, I think so many people are telling us what we should eat, what we should do, how much exercise we should take, but actually, moderation.
Well, Tom and I are actually known for our moderation, indeed famous for our moderation.
We're very moderate people.
So, if you take through our typical diet,
okay.
This is some of the contents of my fridge, but no, I'm very disciplined about my eating. I eat 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and I start off the day with a cooked breakfast. At the moment, this season, it's fragrant shavings of bacon, fried tomatoes, fresh coffee and a piece of fruit.
Okay.
Lunch, if I'm at home, it'll be a salad, some cold meat and a piece of fruit, maybe some cheese. If I'm out, for example, with my good friend Mr. Parker Bowles here,
which is about once every 3 months.
It'll be 3 courses and a bottle of wine per head, maybe just a little more to ease one through the afternoon. And then in the evening, I'd always like to have something sort of not too substantial last thing at night if I'm at home. If I'm on professional call of duty, you understand, of course, then I would have a proper 3-course meal and another bottle of wine. So, what would you say to that, Doctor?
I would say that's quite a lot of calories in one day. And quite a lot of those calories are coming from saturated fat. A lot of red meats, a lot of cheese, lots of saturated fat. I mean, obviously, if you're burning all those calories off with a half marathon every day, it wouldn't be too bad.
Only the half marathon?
Only the half marathon.
He is a member of a gym.
Oh, good. I hope you're using it. Now, the fruit and the tomatoes I approve of, but it's duck fat sitting on top of the basket there. Duck fat. I can't think of anything worse. Lovely for flavour.
Oh, but you know about the Gascon paradox, don't you? The Gascons have the lowest level of heart disease in France or the lowest in Europe. They eat everything fried in duck or goose fat.
Yeah, but they eat lots of olives, don't they, as well? And
they drink a lot of almond.
They don't eat all the starch that we eat either. They wouldn't dream of having an American burger, would they, in France?
No.
Not
though. Mine is, I'm afraid to say, I know that this is a thing, I should just lie and say I eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast, which is appalling. Then I have lunch of sort of, because I work in Bayswater in London, there's lovely dim sum or Mexican or Malaysian or place around there, so a little sort of bowl of noodles, something like that. Dinner is roast chicken, salad. Because my wife's being healthy at the moment, we don't have too many potatoes and stuff like that. But then about 11 o'clock I start snacking from the fridge.
Yeah, okay. Well, no one ever said we should have 3 meals a day. I don't know where that comes from. If we grazed and had more often, we'd actually be a lot healthier. But this 3 meals a day thing, that's just an invented thing that we've been doing as a civilised population for centuries.
Well, that's brilliant. That's a health myth bust, you see. I love hearing proper empirical doctor's advice rather than lots of wishy-washy people who've got their diplomas on the internet.
We should all eat a little less and a lot less starch as well. Starch is where all the fat comes from. That's why we're overweight.
Really?
So saturated fat in terms of protein is okay, but not too much saturated fat overall, because it's the starchy things that make us overweight, produce diabetes and heart disease. So we should eat less of everything and less saturated fat. We're a lot healthier.
So now we've got you here, there are a few things we need to find out. Eggs, apparently, are they very bad for you? You know, all that cholesterol.
Complete myth.
Eggs.
Another myth. You see, this thing about eggs contain cholesterol, therefore we shouldn't eat them, is rubbish. Eggs are very low in saturated fat, and that's what we make our cholesterol from, saturated fat.
Unless you fry them in duck fat.
Oh, exactly. But if we eat lots of eggs, the cholesterol in the eggs, we don't really use that cholesterol in dietary form to make cholesterol in our bodies. It comes from saturated fat. So eggs are very healthy.
So an egg a day for my daughter's fine?
At least.
Yeah.
Eggs are healthy, high in protein, low in fat.
Okay. Alcohol. Alcohol's bad for you, period.
Absolutely not. No, the definition of an alcoholic is someone who drinks more than their doctor, Tom. I think it's fine to enjoy alcohol in moderation. And indeed, you've got a bottle of sherry in your basket, Matthew. And we used to prescribe sherry on the NHS. We used to encourage the appetite of elderly people or people recovering from surgery with a glass of sherry. But of course, if we do too much, we feel hungrier and we eat more. It drops the blood sugar, so we want to eat more.
I mean, food intolerance. Everyone now, I get so bored of hearing, oh, I'm allergic to garlic, I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to that. Of course, there are people who are allergic to very serious things. But on the whole, this great rise in intolerance, is this the sort of emblematic of the world disappearing down the drain?
No, it's interesting. 45% of us are probably intolerant to one foodstuff or another. And interestingly, we know now from recent research that you can be allergic to tomatoes but not allergic to tomato puree, because when you cook something, you change the protein in it, and vice versa.
Now, is there anywhere where we can find all this wisdom gathered together so that I can turn to it in my hours of need?
I've just written a book called What's Up Doc, which is full of anecdotes from my surgery, from the world of TV and radio, all the celebrities that ever asked me about their health, and have given me permission to use those stories.
I was going to say, naming names.
So it's a book that's designed to make people laugh and entertain them, but at the end I'll say, I learnt a lot about medicine in that book.
Okay. Now, as a doctor, obviously, you know all the bads and the pitfalls and all the bad things to do. But you do have a guilty secret, or one of your guilty secrets.
Yeah, sugar puffs. Yeah,
sugar puffs.
Sugar puffs. I
think
think
that's
I probably,
guilty.
you know, the closest you can get to an addiction to cereal, sugar puffs. I once ate a whole packet in one sitting.
And your favourite pudding?
Well, I love this one. It's one of my favourite puddings. I don't often eat puddings, but if I do, half a tin pear with vanilla ice cream and chopped up Mars bar. Terrific.
Well, what is the medical justification?
None at all. But you know, you don't have to have a medical justification to everything. If you enjoy it and you've done your exercise, perfect.
Pragmatism, isn't it? Thank you very much, Dr. Hilary Jones. This is doctor's advice we like to hear.
Yes, come back again soon.
I will.